On that soft and golden day, I still recall the trembling sign when you slowly walked my way. A quiet spark began to rise, like April in the air. I tried to mask the shining in my eyes, but I knew that something rare was there. You stepped in gently while my guarded heart was standing still. Brushed beside me, I felt a sudden warming thrill. You came like sunlight after rain, with cautious, careful grace, a stranger shift in every vein. With a smile lighting up your face, the world grew smaller in that hour. Every sound grew thin, and in the hush I felt the power of a bloom awakening within. So slowly, yet my pulse began to race, and every glance you gave me, I felt the shift in time and space. I had wandered through so many days, never knowing I'd find. Then spring arrived in subtle ways and opened up my mind. That was the first awakening. That was the first awakening. I was drifting slowly through quiet days. Then you came walking through silver haze. When I first saw you, my breath ran wild. You had me falling, falling like a restless child. I never thought I'd be shaking this way. I only meant to let time just play, but my heartbeat raced when you came near. Oh, darling, Like the first warm wind in early spring, you turned my silence into a ring, and I had to feel one soft embrace. First glance so bright, won't you stay and let the daylight grow? Oh, right here I feel every pulse and every trembling flow. Show me that new beginning, make it so clear. Let a little of that sunrise live in here. First glance so bright, won't you stay and let the daylight grow? My quiet seasons you colored through. No more gray skies, only morning dew. When you stood beside me, time stood still. Every hidden corner felt that thrill. I never knew how a touch could spark a gentle flame inside the dark, and my whole world moved when you drew near. Oh, darling, like petals opening to the sun, something fragile had begun, and I needed just one little sign. First glance so bright, won't you stay and let the daylight grow? Oh, right here I feel every pulse and every trembling flow. Show me that new beginning, make it so clear. Let a little of that sunrise live in here. First glance so bright, won't you stay and let the daylight grow? I crave that early morning light, I crave that soft surprise. Let no shadow steal it from these awakening eyes. I'm finding who I am in the warmth you bring, 'cause you arrive like April remembering spring. First glance so bright, won't you stay and let the daylight grow? Oh, right here I feel every pulse and every trembling flow. Show me that new beginning, make it so clear. Let a little of that sunrise live in here. First glance so bright, won't you stay and let the daylight grow? Golden daylight softly shining through the quiet air of early spring. Silhouette moves slow across my field of vision. You stepped into the glow where I had been. Still, my thoughts began to scatter. Why shore, and I could barely stand my ground, heart racing through and through. I never thought I'd feel this way so soon. I never thought I'd feel this way so soon. That might be all I know. When sunlight touched your face below, something stirred so deep in me. Time slowed down in open afternoon, and I never want to move. Faint reflections in your bright eyes, carried colors I had never known. We lean closer like two shadows slowly meeting. Spring was breathing warmth into my bones. That might be all I know. When sunlight touched your face below, something stirred so deep in me. Time slowed down in open afternoon, and I never want to move. But moments shift in circles, turning seasons pass us by. Yet that first warm ray still lingers in my mind. If ever roads divide us, I'll remember how it felt to see you standing there in light that softly dwelled. That might be all I need when memory starts to bleed in deep. Come rest your heart with me, hold that tender hour in springtime, and I never want to leave.
April never meant a thing, just another month to me. Rain came down the same old way, nothing I could feel or see. Trees did what they always do, buds came like they always came. Then you walked into that April and it never felt the same. Something in the air that month, softer than the months before. Colors looked a little brighter, light came easy through the door. I can't tell you what it was, can't put the feeling in a line, but April started meaning something the moment you were mine. A man don't usually notice what month the flowers grow, but something about April made me wanna know. Something about April, something coffee going cold between us, talking about nothing much, but nothing ever felt more serious. You laughed at something small, I memorized the sound. Something about April was the best thing I had found. I don't hold on to calendars, don't mark the days I've had, but something about April made me glad. Something about April, something in the light, something about the way it felt. Everything felt right. Never been a man for seasons, never stopped to look, but something about April rewrote every page I'd read in my old worn book. Every time April rolls around, I feel it in my chest. Not the rain, not the flowers, not the birds inside their nests. It's the memory of a Tuesday, coffee cold between two hands. Something about April is the only thing that stands. Funny how a month becomes a place you wanna stay. Something about April never really went away. Something about April, something true and warm. Something about the way you came quiet before the storm. Never been a man for seasons, but I'm one now. Something about April showed me when and why and how. Yeah, something about April, soft and real. Something about April, only you could make me feel. First time you walked past me, something hit the air. Couldn't name it right away, but I knew that it was there. Wasn't just perfume, wasn't something bought. It was something warmer, something April brought. Like the ground after rain, like the first cut grass, like a window thrown open after winter's past. I stopped right where I stood, didn't move an inch. You smelled like spring, baby, and I've been gone ever since. A man don't usually stop for something he can't see, but whatever you were carrying came straight for me. You smell like spring, fresh and warm and new. Never knew a season could remind me of you. You smell like spring, like the world woke up, like something good went straight to my head. The second time I saw you, I made sure I stayed close. Tried to act like nothing, but you hit me like the most. Talked about the weather, laughed about the light. You smelled like spring all evening, and I didn't want the night. Some things don't need explaining, some things just arrive. You smell like everything that makes a man feel alive. You smell like spring, fresh and warm and new. Never knew a season could remind me of you. You smell like spring, like the world woke up, like something good was coming, filling up my cup. Couldn't help but follow where that feeling led. You smelled like spring, baby, and it went straight to my head. Now every time April comes and that warm air rolls in, I think about that moment, think about where we've been. The way you carried something nobody else could hold. You smelled like spring, baby, and you never got old. That scent became a memory, the memory became a song. You smelled like spring, and I knew I'd belong. You smell like spring, easy, warm and true. Every other season just reminds me of you. You smell like spring, like the whole world smiled, like every good thing coming, worth every single mile. Still can't help but follow where that feeling goes. You smell like spring, baby, and that's all a man knows. Yeah, you smell like spring, soft and warm and right. You smell like spring, babe, every morning, every night. Heard a lot of laughter in my time upon this road. Some polite, some borrowed, some too heavy for the load. But yours came from somewhere deep and true and clear, like it didn't need permission, just arrived and filled the air. Started somewhere quiet, then it opened up real wide. Didn't hold a single thing back, let it all come rushing outside. I was mid-sentence, baby, forgot the words I had. The way you laughed turned everything I had into something glad. A man gets used to quiet, gets used to playing it straight. But the way you laughed, baby, hit me like it couldn't wait. The way you laughed, Lord, it changed the room. Like the sun broke through on a gray afternoon. The way you laugh, easy, real and wide. Something I'd been missing, woke never look back. You didn't know I noticed, tried to keep my cool, but a man can only hold it for so long as a rule. That sound became my reason to say one more thing, just to hear it happen, just to feel that spring. But the way you laugh put the fire back in my legs. The way you laugh, Lord, it changed the room. Like the sun broke through on a gray afternoon. The way you laugh, easy, real, and wide. Something I'd been missing, woke up deep inside. Never heard a sound that hit me quite like that. The way you laugh, baby, and I never look back. Take the long way roundabout, because the world gets heavy, baby, and the days grow long and gray. But the way you laugh carries all of that away. It ain't just a sound no more, it's where I wanna live. The way you laugh, baby, is the greatest thing you give. The way you laugh, Lord, it owned the room. Blew away every shadow, blew away the gloom. The way you laugh, wide and warm and free. Never knew a sound like that was waiting just for me. Still do the most foolish things to bring that sound around. The way you laugh, baby, best thing I ever found. Yeah, the way you laugh, bright and real and warm. The way you laugh, baby, carried me through every storm.
One second was all it took Didn't need a second look. Something landed hard and clear the moment you appeared. Wasn't searching, wasn't ready. Nothing in me felt that steady, but a glance across that room cut right through the afternoon. Try to shake it off real easy. Told myself don't let it seize me. Pick my coffee up and stay like nothing had been made. But my eyes went back regardless. Heartbeat louder than the hardest thing I tried to keep in line. That first glance was yours and mine. A single look don't mean a thing, so I always said. But first glance hit different, baby. Stayed all day inside my head. First glance got me standing still. Last thought every night against my will. Funny how one look can rearrange everything you thought was safe from change. First glance came in soft and light. Last thought carried me through the night. Never knew a moment could hold on this long after it was gone. Now I walk that same direction every morning, no correction. Tell myself it's just the route, nothing more to figure out. But I slow down at that corner every time a little longer, hoping that the light will hold, hoping that the story won't grow old. I ain't the kind to read too deep into things that come and pass, but first glance settled something, baby, built itself to last. First glance got me standing still. Last thought every night against my will. Funny how one look can rearrange everything you thought was safe from change. First glance came in soft and light. Last thought carried me through the night. Never knew a moment could hold on this long after it was gone. People talk about the big things, thunder, lightning, grand arrivals, but the truest things come quiet, dressed up like simple survivals. One glance, one unguarded morning, one soft look without a warning. That's the thing that gets you, baby. Quiet, certain, slowly forming. Now before I close my eyes, last thought rising like the tide. First glance still standing clear as day. Funny how the real ones always stay. First glance got me wide awake. Last thought more than I could take. Never thought a single look could grow into something only you and I could know. First glance still lives right here with me. Last thought sets me free. Didn't plan on any of this, no, but first glance, baby, wouldn't let me go. kept my chest real quiet, left the nervous stuff behind. But something shifted sideways the moment you walked near. Butterflies don't usually show up without a reason here. Try to reason with my stomach, told it calm on down, said it's nothing but a moment, just another face in town. But my body wasn't listening, it had already gone. Butterflies don't lie, you baby, they've been right all along. A man can talk himself out of almost anything, but butterflies don't take orders, they just do their thing. Butterflies don't lie, they know before you do. Butterflies don't lie, they already knew. Couldn't fool my own inside, couldn't tell them no. Butterflies don't lie, baby, they were first to know. Whole chest lit up easy, like a signal clear. Butterflies don't lie, you were standing right here. Second time I saw you, same thing happened twice. Tried to play it cooler, tried to think it through precise, but precision lost the argument the moment you smiled wide. Butterflies don't lie, baby, nowhere left to hide. Logic is a fine tool, but it don't run the show. When butterflies start moving, that's the only thing to know. Butterflies don't lie, they know before you do. Butterflies don't lie, they already knew. Couldn't fool my own inside, couldn't tell them no. Butterflies don't lie, baby, they were first to know. Whole chest lit up easy, like a signal clear. Butterflies don't lie, and you were standing right here. What my body said, stop pretending that I'm somewhere other than this place. Because the smartest thing I've done is trust what can't be taught. Butterflies don't lie, baby, and they told me what they thought. Every time you're near me, same thing every time. Butterflies don't lie, baby, and yours match up with mine. Butterflies don't lie, they were right from the start. Butterflies don't lie, they live right in the heart. Couldn't slow them down no more, couldn't shut them out. Butterflies don't lie, baby, that's what love's about. Whole world could argue different, whole world could walk away. Butterflies don't lie, and mine said you were here to stay. Yeah, butterflies don't lie, never did, never will. Butterflies don't lie, baby, and I feel them still. Yeah.
right-hand man on the way. But somewhere in between it all, you walk right through the door. Can't stop thinking about you like I never could before. Tried to keep myself distracted, music on too loud. Walked 3 extra miles this morning, lost inside a crowd. Came back home and sat real quiet, thought I'd cleared it out. Can't stop thinking about you, that's what this is all about. I run a tight operation, keep my focus where it lands. But you slip through every system, slip right through my hands. Can't stop thinking about you, morning, noon and night. Can't stop thinking about you, something doesn't feel right. Wrong is not the word, exactly right is closer to the truth. Can't stop thinking about you, and I think I'm blaming you. Every quiet moment fills up every gap, you find a way. Can't stop thinking about you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Told my buddy over coffee, tried to make it sound real plain. Said there's someone on my radar, he just smiled and called my name. Said you got it bad, my brother. I said no, I'm just aware. Can't stop thinking about you, means you're already there. A focused man's a proud man, I've been proud my whole career. But something broke my focus and it's standing crystal clear. Can't stop thinking about you, morning, noon and night. Can't stop thinking about you, something doesn't feel right. Wrong is not the word, exactly right is closer to the truth. Can't stop thinking about you, and I think I'm blaming you. Every quiet moment fills up every gap, you find a way. Can't stop thinking about you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Everything inside its lane. Now there's one recurring visitor who doesn't mind the rain. Shows up in the spaces, shows up in the noise. Can't stop thinking about you, and somehow that destroys every wall I built for keeping things exactly where they go. Can't stop thinking about you, and I'm starting not to mind it so. Can't stop thinking about you, first thing every day. Can't stop thinking about you, and I don't want it any other way. Used to keep a quiet head, used to run a steady line. Can't stop thinking about you, and I think that's perfectly fine. Every ordinary moment has your name somewhere inside. Can't stop thinking about you, and there's nowhere left to hide. Yeah, can't stop thinking about you, early, late, and in between. Started out like any other ordinary sound. Two short syllables together, barely touching ground. But somewhere in the saying, something lit up new. Turns out your name tastes different when it's pointing straight at you. Said it once and no one spared.
special just to test the air. Sat there in the quiet after something still was there. Like a note that keeps on ringing after the string goes still. Your name on my tongue, baby, gives me quite a thrill. Names are just a label, just a handle on a door. But your name on my tongue, baby, keeps asking me for more. Your name on my tongue won't seem to go away. Your name on my tongue is how I start my day. Wakes up before I do, finds the morning first. Your name on my tongue, baby, quenches every thirst. Never knew two syllables could carry all this weight. Your name on my tongue, and everything feels great. Try to swap it out one evening, use a different word, but nothing in the dictionary sounded quite as heard. Like it was invented just to live right here. Your name on my tongue, baby, that's a sound I hold dear. I've spoken many names before, let them come and go, but your name on my tongue, baby, put on quite a show. Your name on my tongue won't seem to go away. Your name on my tongue is how I start my day. Wakes up before I do, finds the morning first. Your name on my tongue, baby, quenches every thirst. Never knew two syllables could carry all this weight. Your name on my tongue, and everything feels great. People put their names on buildings, put them up in lights, but the finest use of any name is in the quiet night. When it finds itself on someone's lips without being called. Your name on my tongue, baby, is the best of all. Doesn't need a reason, doesn't need a cue. Your name on my tongue, baby, just keeps coming through. Your name on my tongue, like a melody I know. Your name on my tongue, everywhere I go. Soft and warm and easy, like it always lived right here. Your name on my tongue, baby, makes everything feel clear. Two short syllables together, finest thing I found. Your name on my tongue, baby, sweetest kind of sound. Yeah, your name on my tongue, morning, noon, and night. Your name on my tongue, baby, everything feels whoa. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Never looking straight at you, always just beside. Keeping all my cool together, keeping back my pride. But the corner of my eye has got a mind of its own. It keeps finding where you are, wherever you have gone. Talk to laughed at every line. Seemed like any normal evening, everything was fine. But the corner of my eye was running its own show, tracking every movement, everywhere you go. A man can steer his focus, keep it straight ahead, but the corner of my eye had other plans instead. Corner of my eye catches you every time. Corner of my eye has been making up its mind. Can't look directly, that would give me up. Corner of my eye, baby, can't seem to get enough. Every room you're standing in, it finds you right away. Corner of my eye has been talking all day. Walk past you on a Tuesday, kept my head real still, told myself to keep on moving, told myself I will. But the corner of my eye didn't get that note, turned itself completely over, refused to stay remote. Peripheral vision is supposed to catch the threat, but the corner of my eye found something better, yeah. Corner of my eye catches you every time. Corner of my eye has been making up its mind. Can't look directly, that would give me up. Corner of my eye, baby, can't seem to get enough. Every room you're standing in, it finds you right away. Corner of my eye has been talking all day. There's a language in the sideways, in the almost and the near, all the things you say without the words being clear. Corner of my eye has been writing quite a book, every page a different version of a longer look. One day I'll stop hiding in my peripheral view. Corner of my eye, baby, is already through. Corner of my eye knows you better than I do. Corner of my eye already chose you. Can't hide behind the sideways, can't pretend it's not there. Corner of my eye, baby, caught you fair and square. Every room, every corner, every light, every shade. Corner of my eye, baby, has already been paid. Yeah. Corner of my eye, honest and wise. Corner of my eye, got nothing left to hide. Corner of my eye. Used to hit that alarm with a heavy hand, drag myself to daylight with no particular plan. Coffee on the counter, same four walls ahead, but something changed the season when I got you in my head. Now I'm up before the signal, feet already on the floor, moving through the morning like I haven't moved before. Can't explain the difference, can't put it in a box. One more reason to wake up, change the hands upon my clocks. A man like you. One more reason to wake up, one more reason to rise, one more reason to open up these tired morning eyes. Didn't know I needed it, didn't know it was gone. One more reason to wake up and carry myself on. Every morning used to feel like something to get past. One more reason to wake up, and I want this one to last. Send a message in the early just to see if you'd reply. Sat there with my coffee watching daylight climb the sky. When your name came back to greet me, whole room shifted gear. One more reason to wake up, baby, glad you're here. Some folks got their mountains, some folks got their gold. I got one more reason, baby, worth more than I've been told. One more reason to wake up, one more reason to rise, one more reason to open up these tired morning eyes. Didn't know I needed it, didn't know it was gone. One more reason to wake up and carry myself on. Every morning used to feel like something to get past. One more reason to wake up, and I want this one to last. Mornings used to be the hardest part of any day. Just a gap between the darkness and whatever came my way. But you changed the color of the early morning light. One more reason to wake up and everything feels right. Now I count the hours backwards from wherever you might be. One more reason to wake up, baby, and that reason's all I need. One more reason to wake up, finest one I've known. One more reason to rise up, never felt less alone. Used to drag myself to daylight, used to fight the dawn. One more reason to wake up, baby, and I'll keep moving on. Every morning now a different story, every day breaks something new. One more reason to wake up, baby, and that reason is you. Bright and warm and true. One more reason every morning, baby. One more reason is you. Yeah. Before I knew your name, I knew your silhouette. The way you held your coffee cup, a morning I can't forget. Before I knew your name, I knew the way you stood, like someone who had figured out exactly where they should. Before I knew your name, I knew you kinda like the way a room adjusted when you walked in from the right. Before a single word, before a single sound, before I knew your name, baby, something had been found. Names are just the last thing that the heart decides to learn. Everything before the name is what the feelings earn. Before I knew your name, I already knew the feel. Before I knew your name, I knew that it was real. Knowing comes in layers, baby, long before the word. Before I knew your name, everything inside me heard. Something in the atmosphere, something in the way. Before I knew your name, Somebody said it like it was the easiest thing. 2 words in the open air and everything could sing. Suddenly the silhouette had somewhere it belonged. Before I knew your name, baby, I'd been humming half the song. Now I say it easy, like I've said it all my life. Before I knew your name, it was already cutting like a knife. Before I knew your name, I already knew the feel. Before I knew your name, I knew that it was real. No, it comes in layers, baby, long before the word. Before I knew your name, everything inside me hurt. Something in the atmosphere, something in the way. Before I knew your name, baby, you had already made my day. There's a kind of knowing that arrives before the facts, before the introduction, before the handshakes and the acts. My whole chest had written quite a chapter on its own. Before I knew your name, baby, the seed had already grown. Now I look back on that morning, on that silhouette in light. Before I knew your name, everything already felt right. Before I knew your name, I knew you all the same. Before I knew your name, my heart had staked its claim. Names are just confirmation of what the body knew. Before I knew your name, baby, I was already moving toward you. Every single layer, every sign along the way. Before I knew your name, baby, I was already here to stay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before I knew your name, already knew the song. Before I knew your name, baby, knew where I belong.
I know every crack upon this sidewalk, know every corner, every turn. Could walk this stretch with both eyes closed. Nothing left here left to learn. But lately I've been taking twice as long to get nowhere. Walking slow on purpose, baby, hoping you'd still be there. Checked my watch and checked it over. Told myself I wasn't late. Just rearranging all my reasons. Just negotiating with my fate. A man has got his pride to carry, but his feet don't always care. Walking slow on purpose, baby, slowing down to find you there. I've never been the type to linger, never been the type to stall. But something changed my pace this season, something changing most of all.
Walking slow on purpose,
taking every extra step, Walking slow on purpose, baby, just to see your face. Found myself inventing reasons to be anywhere you be, taking roads that added minutes felt like free. Nobody had to know the difference, nobody had to know the score. Walking slow on purpose, baby, that's what both my feet were for. A man who knows his destination shouldn't dawdle along the road, but walking slow on purpose, baby, was the lightest I had rode. Walking slow on purpose, taking every extra step. Walking slow on purpose, not a thing I'd ever get until you showed up on this corner, until the street had something new. Walking slow on purpose, baby, every slow step led to you. The long way round was never wasted, every detour had a place. Walking slow on purpose, baby, just to see your face. There's an art to moving slowly when the world is rushing past. There's a wisdom in the dawdle when you want a moment less. Every extra minute walking, every extra half a block. Walking slow on purpose, baby, worth every stop clock. Now I know the street by heart, every lamppost, every tree. Walking slow on purpose, baby, was the best thing done by me. Walking slow on purpose, finest pace I've ever known. Walking slow on purpose, never felt less alone. Used to rush through every morning, used to cut the corner clean. Walking slow on purpose, baby, best in between. Every extra step I borrow from the hurry I put down. Walking slow on purpose, baby, best way through this town. Yeah, walking slow on purpose, soft and sure and right. Walking slow on purpose, baby, finest feeling every night. Evening came around too quickly, conversation still had room to breathe. You reached over for your jacket, and I felt the pull of something underneath. Wasn't gonna say a word about it, wasn't gonna show my hand that night, but every clock I looked at seemed to be running twice as right. Made another cup of something neither one of us had asked for yet. Just another small reason for the evening not to end just yet. You smiled at it like you knew it, like you understood the game I played, hoping you'd stay a little longer was the only card I had to trade. A man don't usually linger over goodbyes at the door, but something about your leaving, baby, made me wanna ask for more. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, just a little more time. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, nothing wrong with that in my mind. The evening had been easy, the kind that doesn't come around. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, best feeling I had found. Every minute getting shorter, every light a little low. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, baby, wasn't ready to let go. You stood there at the doorway, talking like the night still had a say. One hand on the frame beside you, neither one of us in any rush to walk away. The street light threw a softness on the conversation hanging there. Hoping you'd stay a little longer was a prayer I kept inside the air. Some moments know their value, don't need to be explained. Hoping you'd stay a little longer was the truest thing I claim. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, just a little more time. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, nothing wrong with that in my mind. The evening had been easy, the kind that doesn't come around. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, best feeling I had found. Every minute getting shorter, every light a little low. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, baby, wasn't ready to let go. There's a space between the leaving and the door pulling shut, where the whole world holds its breath and the heart decides what's what. I stood inside that space, baby, longer than I planned. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, finest place I'd ever stand. Now I keep that doorway somewhere in the back of everything I do. Hoping you'd stay a little longer was the start of me and you. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, glad you read between the lines. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, turned into the best of times. The evening stretched out easy into something neither planned. hoping you'd stay a little longer, baby. Now I'm glad I let it stand. Every quiet moment after carries something of that night, hoping you'd stay a little longer, baby. Turned out right. Yeah, hoping you'd stay a little longer, soft and warm and true. Hoping you'd stay a little longer, baby. Best hope I ever knew.
I've been down this road before, know the signs along the way, know the part where things get heavy, know the part where colors fade. Build my walls the careful way, every brick had earned its place. Then you showed up one spring morning with a different kind of face. Told myself to take it easy, told myself to hold the line, but something in your way of moving didn't feel like any other time. Not a rush, not a conclusion, just a quiet, steady flame. Maybe this time felt different, baby, the moment that you came. A careful man stays careful, that's the rule I always kept. But maybe this time, baby, was the finest thought I'd ever stepped. Maybe this time the season holds, maybe this time the feeling stays. Maybe this time I let it grow. Maybe this time I change my ways. Not a promise, not a guarantee, just a door left open wide. Maybe this time, baby, let the good thing come inside. Every time before had reasons, every reason had its ground. Maybe this time, baby, was the best thing I had found. Didn't announce it, didn't broadcast, kept it quiet in my chest. Just allowed the maybe room to breathe, allowed it room to do its best. Spring has got a way of asking things the winter never could. Maybe this time answered easy, maybe this time understood. I ain't trading in my caution, ain't throwing open every door. But maybe this time, baby, was what caution was saving for. Maybe this time the season holds, maybe this time the feeling stays. Maybe this time I let it grow. Maybe this time I change my ways. Not a promise, not a guarantee, just a door left open wide. Maybe this time, baby, let the good thing come inside. Every time before had reasons, every reason had its ground. Maybe this time, baby, was the best thing I had found. There's a difference between hoping and the reckless kind of blind. Maybe this time was neither one, just a steady open mind. Every wall I built was honest, every scar had told the truth. But maybe this time, baby, felt like something close to prove that the season comes around again, that the good things find their way. Maybe this time, baby, was the reason I should stay. Maybe this time I'll stay.
us receive. Not a gamble, not a surrender, just a man who finally saw. Maybe this time, baby, was the best hand I ever drew. Every careful year behind me, every lesson learned and known. Maybe this time, baby, was the finest seed I'd sown. Soft and sure and new. Maybe this time, baby, maybe this time was you.
Picked up the phone and put it down about 100 times that day. Walked around the kitchen twice, had 100 things to say. Practiced in the mirror like that ever helped before. First call, nervous hands, baby, pacing by the door. Tried to sound like nothing, tried to sound like I was cool, but my voice had other business, had already broken every rule. Said hello too quickly, left a silence in between. First call, nervous hands, baby, worse than best I'd ever been in. A man who's been around a while shouldn't shake like this, but first call, nervous hands, baby, was a feeling hard to miss. First call, nervous hands, hot up in my throat. First call, nervous hands, every word I wrote, every line rehearsed and ready, gone the moment that you spoke. First call, nervous hands, baby, that's the kind of spell you broke. Didn't know that dialing 7 digits could undo a steady man. First call, nervous hands, baby, best I ever ran. Yeah. Whoa. Then you laughed at something small, I said something halfway wrong. Nervous hands went somewhere quieter, where they had belonged all along. Conversation found its river, found the easy current there. First call, nervous hands, baby, turned into something rare. Funny how the hardest moment opens up the door. First call, nervous hands, baby, what were they even for? First call, nervous hands, hot up in my throat. First call, nervous hands, every word I'd wrote, every line rehearsed and ready, gone the moment that you spoke. First call, nervous hands, baby, that's the kind of spell you broke. Didn't know that dialing 7 digits could undo a steady man. First call, nervous hands, baby, best I ever ran. There's a moment before the ringing where the whole world disappears. Just a man and his intention, and a lifetime worth of fears. First call, nervous hands were honest, more honest than the cool I wore. First call, nervous hands, baby, cracked me open at the core. Now I think about that kitchen, all that pacing, all that doubt.
First call, nervous hands. Baby, that's what love is all about. First call, nervous hands. Finest feeling I have known. First call, nervous hands. See that I have sown. All that preparation, all that practice on the floor. First call, nervous hands, baby. Opened up the door. Every confident thing after every easy word that came. First call, nervous hands, baby. Nothing ever felt the same. Yeah. First call, nervous hands. Soft and shaking right. First call, nervous hands, baby. Best thing in my life. First call, nervous hands. Oat milk, 1 sugar. Extra shot when the week runs long. Light roast on a Sunday morning. That's where you belong. I wasn't taking notes exactly. Wasn't writing anything down. But learning your coffee order, baby, was the finest thing in town. Third time at the counter, I already knew before you spoke. Just a nod across the morning, and the whole thing was a joke. Barista raised an eyebrow. I just smiled and said, that's right. Learning your coffee order, baby, keeps me warm at night. People memorize the big things, dates and names and facts, but the small things tell the real story, and there's no going back. Learning your coffee order was the start of everything. Learning your coffee order taught me what the small things bring. Didn't need a grand occasion, didn't need a perfect line. Learning your coffee order, baby, gave me all the signs. Every cup became a chapter, every choice a thing to know. Learning your coffee order, baby, watching something grow. You changed it once in autumn, tried the dark roast for a week. I noticed before you told me that was quite a streak. You laughed and said you wondered if I'd catch it on my own. Learning your coffee order, baby, already felt like home. Some folks chase the fireworks, some folks need the grand display. Learning your coffee order was enough to make my day. Learning your coffee order was the start of everything. Learning your coffee order taught me what the small things bring. Didn't need a grand occasion, didn't need a perfect line. Learning your coffee order, baby, gave me all the signs.
the details, in the small repeated things, in the order that somebody gives, and what that order brings. Learning your coffee order was a dictionary on its own. Every preference, every habit, every flavor you had known told me more than any conversation, more than any crafted phrase. Learning your coffee order, baby, best thing in my days. Learning your coffee order, finest education I have had. Learning your coffee order, for that I'm forever glad. All the things a man can study, all the things a man can find. Learning your coffee order, baby, was the best thing on my mind. Every morning now a ritual, every cup a memory made. Learning your coffee order, baby, best thing I ever stayed. Yeah, learning your coffee order, soft and warm and true. Learning your coffee order, baby, was learning about you. Old milk, one sugar, extra shot when the week runs long. Light roast on a Sunday morning, that's where you belong. I wasn't taking notes exactly, wasn't writing anything down, but learning your coffee order, baby, was the finest thing in town. Third time at the counter, I already knew before you spoke. Just a nod across the morning and the whole thing was a joke. Barista raised an eyebrow, I just smiled and said that's right. Learning your coffee order, baby, keeps me warm at night. People memorize the big things, dates and names and facts, but the small things tell the real story, and there's no going back. Learning your coffee order was the start of everything. Learning your coffee order taught me what the small things bring. Didn't need a grand occasion, didn't need a perfect line. Learning your coffee order, baby, gave me all the signs. Every cup became a chapter, every choice a thing to know. Learning your coffee order, baby, watching something grow. You changed it once in autumn, tried the dark roast for a week. I noticed before you told me that was quite a streak. You laughed and said you wondered if I'd catch it on my own. Learning your coffee order, baby, already felt like home. Some folks chase the fireworks, some folks need the grand display. Learning your coffee order was enough to make my day. Learning your coffee order was the start of everything. Learning your coffee order taught me what the small things bring. Didn't need a grand occasion, didn't need a perfect line. Learning your coffee order, baby, gave me all the signs. Every cup became a chapter, every choice a thing to know. Learning your coffee order, baby, watching something grow.
small repeated things in the order that somebody gives and what that order brings. Learning your coffee order was a dictionary on its own. Every preference, every habit, every flavor you had known told me more than any conversation, more than any crafted phrase. Learning your coffee order, baby, best thing in my days. Learning your coffee order, finest education I have had. Learning your coffee order, for that I'm forever glad. All the things a man can study, all the things a man can find. Learning your coffee order, baby, was the best thing on my mind. Every morning our ritual, every cup of memory made. Learning your coffee order, baby, best thing I ever stayed. Soft and warm and true. Learning your coffee order, baby, was learning about you. Came through the neighborhood and left his calling card. Petals on the pavement, soft against the heart. Didn't plan on noticing, didn't have the time to spare. But petals on the pavement, baby, put you everywhere. Pink and white and pale yellow, scattered down the block. Stop me in the middle of my usual morning walk. Something in the falling, something in the late. Petals on the pavement, baby, made me think of you today. A man walks past 1,000 things and never stops to see. But petals on the pavement, baby, had your name on every piece. Petals on the pavement, soft and unplanned. Petals on the pavement, like the season understands. Everything that's delicate, everything that falls just right. Petals on the pavement, baby, reminded me all night that the finest things arrive without announcing what they are. Petals on the pavement, baby, close as any star. Picked one up and held it, thinner than a thought. Something that the tree gave freely, something that it brought. Laid it back down easy, right where it had been. Petals on the pavement, baby, finest thing I'd seen. Beauty doesn't always come in frames upon the wall. Sometimes beauty, baby, is the quiet way things fall. Petals on the pavement, soft and unplanned. Petals on the pavement, like the season understands. Everything that's delicate, everything that falls just right. Petals on the pavement, baby, reminding me all night that the finest things arrive without announcing what they are. Petals on the pavement, baby, close as any star. on purpose every morning when it's warm, hoping that the petals will have made it through the storm. Petals on the pavement were a letter from the spring, telling me to notice what the ordinary things can bring. You came like petals, baby, quietly and without a sound. Petals on the pavement, baby, best thing I have found. Petals on the pavement, season right in what it knows. Petals on the pavement, every color, every rose, soft and brief and beautiful, the way the finest moments go. Petals on the pavement, babe, finest thing below. Everything I'd rush past, everything I'd overlook. Petals on the pavement, babe, rewrote every page I'd looked at. Petals on the pavement, soft and right and true. Petals on the pavement, babe, every one of them was you.
When the daylight came pouring through the trees, and a quiet wind was dancing with the leaves, you stepped softly through the golden breeze and altered everything in me. When the twilight shimmered in your gentle eyes, and the world grew still beneath open skies, I could stand there lost in sweet surprise from that first electric sigh. I sensed it before my heart knew why. Something in the air turned bright from the second that you passed me by. Time shifted into life. I'd walk miles, I'd cross every line. I'd chase echoes through space and time. There ain't nowhere I wouldn't climb to hold that spark in spring. When the cool breeze trembled through the air and the city seemed to fade, though I tried pretending not to stare, my careful walls just caved. I could let the whole wide world go still. Nothing else could compare. Run to the edge of the morning here to keep that glow with you, to keep that glow with you, to keep